Hello everyone again. I'm happy to be here today. Thank you, Caroline, for introduction. And today we have, let's say, the birthday of the Tableau user group, and I'm happy to be the speaker here. So my name is Max, and I'm the BI manager at Exness, and today I will share you our experience, how we set up a development process in terms of Tableau reports. Let me introduce myself a bit. I have over 10 years experience in a business intelligence, data warehousing, data analysis, and so on. I'm, let's say, a data enthusiast. I like to discover the new methods of data exploration. I love a lot visualization, and I like to explain some complex things in a simple way, with the help of visualization, of course. And I'm a leader of BI project, BI ideas. So, guys, if you have any crazy ideas, just contact me. Here is my LinkedIn page. Well, it's very difficult to maybe give you a lot of details about our process within 15 minutes. So I will just highlight the most important topics for you today. And the first slide is about our architecture. It's also very simple because I would like to highlight just the two major points. And one of them is that, of course, we have a Tableau as our main visualization tool. And our main data source, our main data warehouse is Vertica. And we have in Vertica, we have a multi-layer, the analytical data warehouse. And the top level reporting layer is is the main layer, is our main data source for the Tableau reports. And we have such approach here. We try to keep all the logic, I mean, aggregation, calculation inside Vertica, inside our data warehouse. It helps us to have a, let's say, control of changes. Also, it helps us to keep data quality and so on. Also, one of the important point is published data sources. We are trying to widely use the published data sources. It also helps to solve the same things, data quality, control, and so on and so on. Also, we have a GitLab and dbt tool. This is, we store all our, let's say, scripts in GitLab, and dbt is our main ETL tool. So, let's move forward and what is the role of the Tableau in Exness? Here is the manager. It's average manager of Exness, let's say. Average not in terms of the performance, but in terms of high level or middle level and so on. I said that I love simplicity, so... and usually managers have some questions. What is the revenue today? How about my KPIs, my bonuses, and so on and so on? And the first thing which is on the top of the mind is a Tableau. So Tableau is a tool when you can find the answer to these questions. So it's our main analytical and visualization tool, which we use to, first of all, share main company metrics with management, top management, middle management, and also, of course, why we love Tableau, because we can easily create complicated dashboards with drill downs, special view types, and some different formats for mobile phones, and so on and so on. And of course, we also use it for data stories, digest, some subscriptions, and so on. If we are talking about development, the first stage, the zero stage of the development process is the, let's say, pre-development. We have a developer here, and we can see that he has some intentions to do something in Tableau. And we have a guard. It is, let's say, special squads of experts who know everything about Exness. And we have a process when developer should, via Slack channel, ask about the intention. If we try to do something, we usually should have some approval. Is it really needed? Do we need to have it in Tableau, and so on? And here we try to answer three questions. First one, is the purpose clear and focused? This is not so difficult question, and usually we are waiting for such question. Yes, of course, and for example, evaluate marketing campaigns. So it's clear, and this is a rather simple question. The next one is about target audience. It's very important for us to know what is the target audience in terms of licensing, security, and so on and so on. And we are also waiting rather clear answer here. For example, 3 C-level users, no questions anymore here, so it's clear. And the last one, most maybe tricky question here, what actions or decisions can be taken based on it? And this is really tricky question because maybe in 50% of cases, users can't answer. And we just, asking this question, we just double check that purpose is clear, audience is clear, and we are waiting for such kind of answer that make a decision regarding the budget allocation for the marketing campaigns, which is the best one for us. So it's the first stage. If we have one like from that guards, we can do the dashboards in Tableau. And once again, why we asking such questions? First of all, to give a clarity to our goals and avoid wasting time. We usually try to, we wish to our reports a long life. We don't want to waste our time just to have, I don't know, some one-time exercise and that's it. Also, we are trying to avoid duplicate dashboards, duplicate data sources. We also trying to avoid inconsistency in methodologies because our team split it by the domains. And for example, one developer in the one domain know everything about the domain, but miss some information about other domain. And that's why these guards, which are experienced, which are participated in cross-domain activities, help to understand, do we have some inconsistency here and so on. Also, we, as I said, would like to understand the target audience in terms of security, licenses, data quality, and so on. And finally, we are trying to understand, is the Tableau, is the tool which we should use here, because we have another tools, real-time reporting for self-service, and sometimes we change the way and don't use the Tableau. So let's move to development stage and development step. And we have basically 2 points. Let's say it's UAT and production. And in terms of Tableau, we have just 2 folders, not 2, but 1 for development. These reports are in progress, and all other folders, they split it by domain, considered as production. And what we have in the beginning? In the beginning, we have a style guide. Of course, we have a style guide, and you can see on my t-shirt, we have a short version of the style guide. It's a, let's say, obligatory uniform for each developer. You can easily go to shareholder or stakeholder and say, oh, okay, we have a bar chart, scatter plot, what you prefer. No sheet, no Excel sheet, please. Only beautiful visualization. But seriously, we have a style guide, and what we have inside, we have the key steps, what developer should do in order to provide beautiful and consistent visualization. Of course, we have some obligatory elements, for example, logo of Exness, some figures, and so on and so on. Also, we have advice about the color palettes, composition, and so on. And finally, what is most important here is the design-ready template. So you can easily copy-paste and start doing something very easily. When you done something, when you already done something, you put it to development folder, and if you are going to move it to production, maybe you, I don't know, collect feedback from already collected feedback from stakeholder, and you are ready to put to production, we have a pre-release checklist. And here we have totally we have approximately 50 points which each developer should check. And we have a groups, we grouped it by such groups. So first one is pre-publication. It's about the naming of the dashboard, the data sources inside, and so on and so on. Next one is UX tests. It's about something like, for example, do we have all necessary elements? Maybe about some filters, cross-dashboard filters, is it work correctly? About actions, and so on and so on. Of course, we have a data test. It's about our data sources. As I mentioned previously, we trying to keep all logic inside our data warehouse. So we are checking here that everything is okay with that. Of course, we have a design test. We have some advice in a style guide, and we are checking, the developer should check all this stuff. And of course, we have a guards again, because last stage is about the design and quality approve. And our special team, of course, check the design. Is everything okay with design? Also, we check a Tableau best practice. Do we use the Tableau best practice, for example, about, I don't know, how to set up filters or something else. Also, we check data sources, and we check some requirements, some additional requirements about the data catalog. We have a data catalog which is based on Data Hub, and we have some requirements what we should put into data catalog. For example, description of the dashboards and some logic, metrics, and so on. And one more point here is about data quality. It's in progress, but finally, we are trying to provide to our customers, to our stakeholders, some quality check status in order to understand, is everything okay with data inside the dashboards and so on. So that's it about development. After development, of course, we should have some support. And what we have developers. They are not so happy about support usually. And we may split support only two parts. One part is a common support. It's about some general questions. For example, when I can find such a revenue or another metric, and so on. And for such a questions, it's usually general questions about Tableau. We have a special Tableau Slack channel, and in this channel we have a weekly duties. Each developer should have a weekly duty in order to answer the question or redirect it to some other specialist. And we have another part of this area is a domain support. Tableau folders structure mirrors our domain, business domain structure, and each folder's owner is responsible for content inside, for all content inside, and also responsible for published data sources, which were also splitted by the domains. And if, for example, user have exact question about some exact metric, we usually answer to this question in correspondent domain channel, or maybe during the common support, within the common support, we can redirect to some domain support channel if we understand that it is some specific question about some domain metrics or reports. So that's it from my side. Finally, you have two QR codes here. One of them is about our Exness Tableau public page. You can, first of all, you can download Tableau, Exness Tableau style guide. Also, we have a few visualizations there. One of these visualization is about the graph, which you will see this visualization. Luda will tell you after me about these. And also, we have just published our strategic map. You can also check. It's rather interesting from my point of view. And also, you have here my article about how we implement style guide in Exness. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Max.
Hi, Max. Thank you for a good presentation. I have actually two questions. First of all, about your ATL tool, because I'm more technical guy. You mentioned that you use DBT, yes, DBT tool with collaboration with CI/CD pipeline in GitLab. Why did you choose this exact tool, not like a classic solution with Airflow? Is the first question. And the second question will be, so you have a lot of checks in pre-release checklist, but data mart for Tableau dashboard should be updated on daily, weekly, or monthly basis. It depends on your business, anyway. So how do you check in progress, data quality, etc. when data mart is updating? That's it. Thank you.
Okay, let me start from the second question about the our checklist. Yes, it's very big, but it's very big for beginners. You first time do something, it's complicated. Check when you do one dashboard, second, third, and so on. It's really became automatic. I mean, you just easily create it and don't think about it. And about the data quality in our data marts, it's a different thing. We have it's separate thing because we have a data quality project and we are trying to put some indicators on each our data source. And for example, published data source in Tableau is just the mirror of the data warehouse data mart, and our data quality set up in data mart in Vertica. And there we are trying to check the data quality on each layer. And also we have other systems. I mean, Vertica is just the top of the structure. So, and there we are trying to implement data quality and try to check daily, weekly, depends on the data, our quality. Returning to the first question, frankly speaking, I can't answer why we're using these tools. Airflow we are planning to use, frankly speaking, because it's really cool tool. Now, as a scheduler, we use Argo, and we are planning to move. So I think it's a bit technical question. I can give you details if you want a bit later. Okay. Okay.
Max, great talk. I'm curious to know more a business-related question. So on the stage 0, when a user has some requirement for the wrappers, how basically do you collect these requirements? Is it kind of a template, document, brief? What's the process look like?
Do you mean when we are trying to understand, is it needed? Do you mean what kind of requirements we have from the stakeholders?
I mean, how is structured? So the process, how is structured? When a person needs a report, and then you ask them your simple question, target audience and the rest, but then you need to understand what are you going to build and how the process of gathering requirements is built in Exness now.
Yeah, we have, frankly speaking, our process, our scheme of our process are really big. And we have a canvas when we collect all requirements. And if it is complicated dashboard, we can even have some, I don't know, examples in Sigma to collect detailed requirement, to collect what questions we should answer in this dashboard, on that dashboard. So our process is, of course, more complicated. And I showed just maybe the very basic helicopter view of this process. And we have some methodology inside how to solve it. Maybe it's the topic of the next meetup.
Thanks for the good presentation. You've mentioned in your presentation that you split Tableau folders by business domains. And I'd like to ask, how do you manage access to these folders? Do all the Tableau license owners have access to all the folders, or you also split their access? And if not, every department have an access to each folder, how do you manage the access to overlapping data? For instance, if marketing team needs some data from other folder, let's say?
Okay, thank you for your question. It's really interesting question because we have a as is state and we have a state to be, because we are, as I mentioned, we are in progress of project of data management, and data security is one of the parts of this project, and we are planning to move to such a model when we have almost automatically procedure of access providing, and we have such methodology. We have a domain folder, for example, marketing, and we have a role, for example, marketing. We know who should be assigned to this role. For example, during the onboard process, if we have some attributes, for example, marketing word in the position of the employee or in the division name of the employee. We know we have some rules how to detect what role should be assigned to this user. And when we have such a matrix, for example, Tableau folder role, also we have a data owner who should approve this access in terms of license, first of all, in terms of data access and so on. This is the state how it should be finally. But now we have just the old up groups, which also connected to the folders of the Tableau. And we have a Jira ticket with the obligatory fields, and we also have the roles, marketing, for example, trading, and so on and so on. And user just choose needed role, and we approve by ourselves this role. Also, if we need some help from the domain business users, I mean, we ask, is it needed really, and so on. So something like this.
Hi Max, thanks for your speech. I have a simple question. How do you sell the idea of style guides and this crowd of your checks before release for outside of your team? I mean, for those creators who are not BI analysts, like data analysts, product analysts, etc. Do you have any sandbox folders or?
It's a good question, and for me, it's question consists of the two questions: how we sell the idea inside the team and how we sell the idea outside the team, because it was difficult to sell this in both areas. We have resistance from one part and from the other part also, when we have some problems. But finally, first of all, in terms of the team, I mean, in terms of developers, creators, we understand step by step that it really helps. It's not additional work. It really helps to quickly do something. And in terms of business users, they understand also maybe after some time that here we have, let's say, ugly dashboards. A year ago, we have absolutely different dashboards and absolutely different quality of data, and so on and so on. So it's not so easy process. And I already previously I had a presentation about the style guide implementation. And if you check the article, my article on the medium.com, you can also find some answers there.